Hey there, Sagittarius. Welcome to your reading for the week of, this is for where you will be 1 year from now. Just kidding. We're just going to look at the energies of where you'll be 1 year from now. You have this lyre bird. It says ancestral memories, and you have the Eight of Pentacles, the Chariot, and the Seven of Pentacles. Looks good so far. It's kind of funny that this card has come up because we have Neptune and Pisces, and I say all the time how Neptune and Pisces really represents, for all of us, kind of represents our ancestral beliefs, meaning that we were all raised to believe certain things, and those things might be true or they might not be true. And Neptune and Pisces at this time is kind of like pointing those things out, and it's like literally showing up here where you could be, looking at some of your beliefs in life just in general, and you could be saying to yourself, like, why do I believe this? Why do I believe that the sky is blue? Maybe it's green, right? Maybe everyone is wrong and maybe they're all right, and there really is no right or wrong answer here. So what I would say is that just like a lot of you could be in the energy of looking into it. And again, yes, Neptune and Pisces is generational, meaning that it affects everybody in the generation, but it also affects everyone like on Earth at this time in the collective. But really, it's showing up for you. So I feel like it's something that could be being triggered in your astrology over the next year. Even though this reading is meant to show where you will be 1 year from now, it doesn't matter. I feel for a lot of you, you could be just working on those things. And here's the good news, is that you have the Chariot, and the Chariot is about setting yourself apart. Again, a lot of people seem to be doing this right now. I would say that it's probably Neptune and Pisces. I think that it's Pluto going into Aquarius. Pluto and Aquarius is the collective. It's like it is the energy of the collective. We will see a lot of collective things happening during Pluto and Aquarius for the next 20 years, but it's also the individual. I think people forget sometimes that it's like astrology isn't just like one thing or the other. And so it's like, because people will be so collective during Pluto and Aquarius, I think a lot of people are going to want to set themselves apart. I think you're just going to want to find your own unique identity. You could be also finding your own unique place in the world, and this could be a major focus for you. And we even see this here. You go across to the tower. You are the last sign I'm doing. Literally every single person now has had the tower in their readings. I like to remind people that, again, Pluto and Aquarius for 20 years. Pluto and Aquarius is super weird, and plus there's other weird stuff going on, not just Pluto and Aquarius. Again, it's going to be like literally thousands and thousands of years before we have this exact setup again of astrology that we have right now. So you'll definitely be dead, right? Unless somehow Mark Zuckerberg turns us into robots, his little robot slaves or whatever he wants, right? Unless that happens, you won't be here. And what I would say is that we're going to see a lot of crazy stuff. I think that, we've already been seeing a lot of crazy stuff, but there's going to be more. And so everyone has had the tower, and I basically said that to everyone. But really what I would say is that the tower represents things being the same for too long. Just like I said, the whole point of Neptune and Pisces is to ask why. Like, why are you doing things the same way that your parents and their parents and their parents and their parents did things, right? It's just so that we break patterns. And by the way, we might not break some patterns. The whole point of Neptune and Pisces is to say like, oh, maybe this actually is a good way of doing things, like whatever you're doing in life. So it's going to go both ways, but don't be surprised if you leave some things behind, which is perfectly fine. We're here to evolve. We're here to grow. We're here to change. And again, it seems like you're really putting in the work. I also do see some financial improvements for you. You have a lot of action showing up in this reading. You literally have this card that says go for it. And then right under it, you have the Emperor. So, I see a lot of action taking in your reading, which I love. I think now is a time of action taking. I literally did a video on this the other day where I was talking all about how we're in a time where the squeaky wheel gets the grease. It's like we really need to, I think I said we need to put elbow grease into the things that we want to see be successful. Nothing is just going to magically happen. So what I would say here is that the people who do the work are going to be successful. I feel like you're putting in the work. You have the Seven of Pentacles here. You're putting the work into the right things. Seven of Pentacles says, is the juice worth the squeeze? Is what you're working on, is it worth it? Is it growing, or is it just staying the same? And so this seems to be a major theme for you, especially in this. I feel like this whole entire first row is very simple. It's like saying the things that you do in every single day, the activities, the plans, the people you hang out with, everything. It's like is it leading to growth or is it slowing things down? Is it worth it, right? And I think if you can just look at that, then you're going to be very successful. With the Eight of Pentacles, you have the Ten of Pentacles, really a lot of success coming in for you. I feel like you're getting results. Eight of Pentacles to me is a card that represents material success on the horizon. Ten of Pentacles right here is material success. So whatever you're working on right now, I feel like is going to lead to a lot of material success. With the Chariot, you have the Death card. We already know that you're going through a transformation based off of this row. I think this is going to be probably the fastest transformation of your life. Some of you could be ending up in a family all of a sudden. Like maybe you haven't had a family. Maybe you've been wanting to get married, but there hasn't been anyone around, and like all of a sudden you get married. The Tower just represents all of a sudden energy. It's sudden, but it could be a good thing as well. So, I kind of feel that for some of you where it's like maybe all of a sudden you get a career when you've been looking for one for like 10 years, right? I kind of feel like it's the end of this, not being able to transform or whatever's been going on. With the Seven of Pentacles, you have the Nine of Swords. Yes, we are definitely in a time where we have to end these hamster wheel situations. Nine of Swords is a round situation. It says, do you want to repeat the same thing over and over and over again? There is a very cut and dry energy, I believe, in the astrology that's basically saying if you want to stay stuck, then go stay stuck. But you're going to be stuck. So I would encourage people to be honest with themselves. And again, I don't think tarot should tell you what to do or anything like that, but it's like when something shows you its true colors with the Seven of Pentacles, whether it's a person, a place, or a thing or whatever, when it shows you its true colors, I think you need to accept it and be willing to kind of like either move on to something else or end things that are just going round and round and round, right? Because this to me looks like a transformation reading where you're making a big transformation. Next, you have this Exposed and Revealed card. I actually feel this is a good card for you. I feel like you are, kind of putting yourself out into the world and you're revealing your true self. I actually feel that people are going to see you as like a little bit mysterious. I kind of feel like this is your energy, King of Swords. You go to the Ten of Cups to the High Priestess. I feel that some of you are going to be seen as like a leader, sorry, wrong camera. I feel like they're going to be seeing you as an expert or someone who really knows what they're talking about. So for those of you that are like wanting to become an expert or, maybe you want to become a YouTuber or something like that, I would get going because again, I think people are going to be looking up to you with this energy. I also feel like you could have a lot of people coming to you for guidance. You have the King and Queen of Swords here. In the reading, we're going to talk about this more in just a second, but I kind of feel like both energies are actually you. I feel like you're just a combination of both. I feel like you see things clearly with the Queen of Swords and you're only focusing on the future. And I also feel that you have like the wisdom and the knowledge of the King of Swords. So it's almost like you're putting the two things together. For some of you, I do feel that this could be a past person. Again, the Queen and King of Swords are like my least favorite of the divine counterparts in the tarot. To me, they're usually not facing each other. She kind of has her back to the past, and he's normally just looking forward. He's not really looking at the past or the future. And so to me, they're like not compatible. And I do feel like some of you could see a past person that way, and you might just be cutting this person out. You have the Eight of Wands. You're very focused on success. Eight of Wands is like a card of momentum, as I always say, and I get that feeling here because you have this buffalo spirit, which we're going to talk about in just a minute, and I feel a lot of momentum. Sometimes I think with the Eight of Wands, we experience like a win in life, and then because we experience the win, it feels really good, and we want to experience another win, so then we go do something else. And that's exactly what I would be doing here, is I would keep the wins kind of rolling, even if they're small wins, because it's just going to motivate you towards more success. You have the King of Pentacles. I am hearing the words, this is the only thing that you're willing to accept right here. King of Pentacles is permanence. So in love, for example, I think you might only be willing to accept a love that is permanent in your life. Same thing in business as well. I really feel like you're looking for permanent, stable situations, and it's like I feel it's almost like you're putting your foot down here, Sagittarius, on like what you're willing to accept, probably because you're wanting to end the Nine of Swords energy right here. With the King of Swords, you have the Ace of Swords, a victory. Again, if there was a card in the tarot of something kind of coming to light, or there are a couple, but this would definitely be one of them. Ace of Swords is the truth, and you have that exposed and revealed card. So there could be some truths coming out between now and like a year from now. With the Eight of Wands, you have the Three of Wands. Three of Wands says, what are you waiting for? It's like another one of those readings. I think one of the last readings I did for you really encouraged you to focus on yourself, because like when we truly focus on ourselves and make ourselves, the best version of ourselves that we possibly can be, I believe that's when good things happen. That's when we, attract love. That's when we attract everything else that we want. So I kind of feel that here for some reason, where it's saying, like, this is saying to me, take action on your own life, like the things that you truly want to do, not what everybody else wants to do. With the King of Pentacles, you have the Empress. Yes, you're very attractive at this time, number one, and I feel like you're attracting a lot of abundance. Very abundant reading, clearly. You even have this card next that says Buffalo Spirit. It says the abundant universe will provide. So clearly there is abundance and success coming in for you with the Buffalo Spirit. There's also, you have like a lot of this stormy imagery here. You have lightning coming in on the tower. And there's a story of the buffalo and the cow. The difference between buffaloes and cows is that buffaloes, when there's a storm, they will run straight through the storm to the other side of the storm. And because they run through the storm, they get to through the worst of it, right? They get to the other side where all the rain has already passed over. So they get to like fresh green pastures because they run through the storm. Cows, on the other hand, they try to run away from the storm, and because they run away from it, the storm is always chasing them, and the storm is always above them, right? So they never get to those fresh green pastures. And I feel for a lot of you that story is popping into my head. I feel for a lot of you that, the tower has come up for everyone. Again, I don't want to scare anyone, but I do think there's going to be crazy stuff that we'll be seeing in the world. And by being grounded, by being willing to go through whatever comes up and get to the other side, it's like you're just rewarding yourself. So I don't even think the things that are happening are necessarily going to be all that crazy. I like to remind people that we have Pluto in Capricorn right now. It's going to be going to Aquarius. Pluto in Capricorn is all about efficiency, and it's also about the breakdown of establishment. So most of the things that we will see that will be breaking down in the world need to break down in the first place. They're old, they're outdated, whatever it is. It could be, beliefs, establishments, laws, regulations, jobs, pretty much everything, right? It could be anything that you possibly could imagine, right? And your job is to adapt, right, to whatever changes come. And trust me, there will be a lot of opportunity for the people that learn to adapt to these changes, right? You have the Five of Swords, the Ten of Cups, and the Queen of Swords. I feel like you're taking a risk here, number one, on love, probably. You have the Ten of Cups here, and Ten of Cups is true love, true happiness. It's like fortune after difficulty as well. So I see a lot of improvements. And again, Ten of Cups is fortune after difficulty. It's like running to the other side of the storm. Like I said, I feel for a lot of you, you've been going through a difficult period of time, and these are the improvements. I also feel that you're taking a risk on love here. Like I said, and it could lead to a family in the future. The reason I say that is you have the Five of Swords. Five of Swords is kind of like a card of winning at all cost, but to me, it's really a card of taking a risk and needing to take some sort of risk in life. So I feel like you're taking a risk. You also have the Queen of Swords, and the Queen of Swords, normally she has her like sword up, her hand out. It says she's kind of cautiously optimistic. She's kind of willing to maybe give love a chance or whatever. And again, if you don't want love, then I would say this is something else that you would see as your happily ever after. Like maybe you have a dream business that you want to start or something similar. And I would say that you're trying again, or you're giving something another chance. With the Five of Swords, you have the Seven of Pentacles. You have the Seven of Pentacles twice here. Is it worth it? That's the question you're asking, right? With that Five of Swords, is it worth it for me to take a risk? Is it worth it for me to go through this storm? It's like sometimes maybe the storm doesn't have to be a bad thing. Sometimes I think maybe like the beginning of a relationship can be a little bit of a storm because you're a little bit uncomfortable. You're trying to get used to the person. You're trying to learn a new person. So it's kind of like a storm. It's not a bad one, but it's kind of like you have to go through this period of time, right? And so I feel like like some of you are asking, is it worth it? I'm telling you right now, it is worth it, number one. Number two, even if you're asking the question, I feel like you're going to do it anyway with the with the Emperor. With the Ten of Cups, you have the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, like a big opportunity coming in for you. There could be a surprise opportunity coming in for some of you, and it could be love, of course. You have 2 aces in a row right here, and 2 aces to me is a definite yes to any question that I haven't answered, so I would definitely go in this direction. With the Queen of Swords, you have the Sun card. So much happiness. Yeah, this is going to brighten your day, like brighten your life if this is love, but it doesn't even have to be love. Again, I kind of get like a mysterious opportunity for some of you, like maybe you could be getting a job opportunity that you don't know much about. I feel there's a general lack of information, but not in a bad way. It's like sometimes I think we can get job opportunities where maybe we're not qualified for the job, but we get the opportunity anyway. This would say learn as you go. You'll figure it out. Take the opportunity. It's going to be good for you, whatever it is. Could be another opportunity as well. It's like there are plenty of things. Again, I always make the joke, I'm a Pisces. I just want to stay home. I don't want to go anywhere. Every time I go on vacation, I can't wait to get home, right? The whole entire time I'm thinking about coming home. And it's weird because I travel a lot. And what I would say here is that I always have fun, right? Number one. Number two, after like a couple of days, then I don't want to come home. Pretty much, I want to stay. I want to have a good time. So I kind of have that popping into my head where that's the only example I could give you. There might be some opportunities for you that come up where you're kind of like, do I want to do this? Do I not want to do this? I would just do it, right? Could be to like go on a date, right? But you never know. It might be your person. So I feel like it's saying like maybe push yourself outside your comfort zone just a little bit. Obviously, don't do anything that you don't truly want to do, but I would, push it a little bit here. You even have this card, this new moon in Aries, that says go for it. So I would encourage you to go for whatever you want at this time. You also have Aries right here, the Tower, and the High Priestess. I really see, for whatever reason, I feel like this is you. Yes, I understand that this is Aries, as I just said, but I feel like this is the energy that you are embracing, Sagittarius. I feel like you're embracing the energy of taking action, of being bold, being assertive, really going for what you want. So I just love it. I feel like it's more about you going for it. You have the Tower. Again, like I said, every single person has had the Tower. It doesn't really surprise me. I think that we're going to see a lot of crazy stuff. So just embrace it. You have the High Priestess as well. Trust your intuition, but I would also say that the High Priestess is a mystery. High Priestess says you can visualize your future as you want it to go. And if you use your powers of visualization, you could be very successful. So you visualize. Let's see here. With the Emperor, you have the Five of Cups. No regrets. No regrets, right? I feel like for a lot of you, this is saying, like, don't regret not doing something. I kind of get the feeling that this is saying that you should be taking some risks. And by risks, I'm talking about calculated risk, like going on a date with a person, starting a business, writing a book, starting your YouTube channel, like whatever it is, take the risk. With the Tower, you have the Page of Wands, new beginnings. Again, through all these Tower moments that could potentially happen, who the hell knows what's going to happen, I would say take a risk, right? There are new beginnings here. There will be new things that kind of come up. The whole point, I always like to remind people, the whole point of the Tower is that the Tower is weak in the first place. It has to be rebuilt in the first place. So what comes collapsing down will be rebuilt bigger, better, and stronger anyway. With the High Priestess, are you kidding? You have the Ace of Wands. Look at this. This is crazy. You have 3 aces in this direction. Ace of Wands says follow your desires, but Ace of Wands is also a passionate new beginning. But this is the direction I'd be focusing on right here. I'd be focusing on yourself, focusing on your own truth, focusing on a big opportunity that has something to do with your happily ever after. And I would also be focusing on your creative energies here with the Ace of Wands, but also inspiration. The other interesting thing is normally in the back of the Ace of Wands, there's a castle that's crumbling. So, kind of looks like the Tower, right? And it represents out with the old, in with the new. So I feel for a lot of you that there just could be new opportunity coming in for you with that Ace of Wands. Love it. We're going to pull 5 more cards, see what else wants to come up. You have this publicity card. Yes, I've been saying this for years that Pluto and Aquarius this year, I would be trying to get as much attention as you possibly can on like anything that you want. If you want love, go get attention. If you want your business to grow, start a YouTube channel, start a TikTok. Whatever you can do to get attention is going to lead to abundance. So do it. You have this achievements card. Clearly a lot of achievements coming in for you. You have this Bluff card right here. This is like a card of someone calling your bluff. But what I would say here is I feel like people might think you're calling their bluff. You know, you have that Tower. I really kind of get the feeling that, you know, part of me also feels what the Tower is for everyone is that because we have Pluto in Aquarius, even though it's going to retrograde back into Capricorn, I don't care. By next year, it's going to be back into Aquarius. Maybe, well, depending on when you watch this video, it will be back in Aquarius. But what I would say is part of it is setting yourself apart. When we set ourselves apart, when we make ourselves unique, sometimes people don't like that. So people might not like the changes you're making, and they might not agree with it, but who cares? You have this discovery card, adventure, this is your card right here. So I feel like being willing to go on an adventure, go to new places, that's going to lead to a lot of success. And finally, you have this decision card. I would pick the new path. You know, again, Seven of Pentacles twice in your reading. Seven of Pentacles is kind of like he's walking away from the Seven Pentacles that he's grown so that he can go have new experiences, which this whole entire reading is talking about. So this looks pretty good here, Sag. So thank you for being here and definitely enjoy your year.